It's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Carlisle.
Glad you're feeling better, man.
You're glad I'm feeling better. I'm glad I'm feeling better. I was actually in bed sick. That's how sick I was. And the worst thing was this is like the first week in months that I haven't gotten like a pile of cool DVDs to sift through, and there was nothing cool that had come out recently that I hadn't seen.
Where's your DVD collection that you have? Don't you have a massive DVD collection you can watch in just such cases of emergency?
Well, not massive, but it's like I wanted to watch new stuff, not, the old stuff. And, I was sick and stuck at home and couldn't think and...
What exactly did you have?
I don't know. It was like a head cold type thing. It was, whole sinus draining and head stuffed up and can't think.
Okay, so you weren't like leaving shit piles everywhere.
No. It wasn't. There was no vomit or diarrhea or anything like flu-like. It was like a really nasty head cold, but I hadn't had a head cold like that in years. It just came on last Saturday and just kicked my ass all weekend.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
I'll dare say I missed you last weekend.
You did not miss me.
Yeah, I did. I sincerely did. There is a repertoire that is unequaled here. I haven't found a replacement for this kind of thing yet.
A repertoire?
The repertoire, whatever you want to call it.
You mean rapport?
No, repertoire. I like to throw in extra syllables because it makes it sound better.
Well, that's a completely different word too. So makes it sound better and like a different word.
No, so you feeling better this week?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm on top of the world this week. So.
Oh, nice. Well, like I said, welcome back, man. Let me make sure I'm turned up a little bit here. All right. So a lot of stuff happened this week. As a matter of fact. Things happening right before you get here.
Oh God, dude, yeah. No, I went and hopped online before I come over. We'll get to that first. Let's start off the way we always start.
The way we always do.
That's right. With the top 5. This week's top 5 is brought to you by the Spill Crew.
That's excellent. You ever want to work in radio?
No, I kind of wanted to be a cartoon character.
Okay, well, this whole cartoon character thing doesn't work out.
If that doesn't work out, I can Sunday. It's the Monster Truck Show down at the mall.
I know. Be there.
Bring the kids. Free hot dogs and balloons for all the kiddies.
Habla español. So, let's start out with number 5.
Number 5.
Speed Racer.
Man, still hanging in there, man.
For a movie about speed, it is chugging along.
It is chugging something at this point. It's I don't know, man. I dig the hell out of that movie, and I'm glad it's hanging in there. Although this goes back to the first weekend it opened. We're gonna get to number 4. And number 4 is this movie's getting dogged by this thing. What the hell?
That's what I said last week.
Nobody's talking about this fucking film, but every week it's getting dogged by this thing going, see, we told you we could make more money than you, Speed Racer.
Yeah, and Speed Racer now, is that a rumor or did it really cost $150 million to make?
I don't know the Wachowskis personally. I couldn't tell you.
Either way it goes, the movie cost over $100 million to make it. It's only made 40, pretty much $40 million.
Well, domestically, that movie's going to kill in foreign. It's going to be one of those.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. You look at other things, things that have bombed here, things we have talked about being bombed, things like Aragon bombed, but it did huge internationally.
That's what I said.
The big thing that everybody talked about earlier this year was the Golden Compass didn't do well here, but it cleaned up internationally. It cleaned up so much that they made more than enough money to secure a sequel.
I don't know how Golden Compass did. I remember telling Cyrus that Aragon did well. Internationally.
It did internationally, but still, it didn't do well enough internationally to get itself a sequel.
No, it didn't.
But Golden Compass did.
Is that movie getting a sequel?
Oh yeah. No, they're making them.
So they're going to release it everywhere else but America?
No, they'll still release it here because there'll still be a market for it. But it made its money internationally, which means, no, we can definitely release a sequel and see that kind of money, if not more, internationally again.
Japan, if you want to see a Speed Racer 2, the pressure's on you.
Dude, that's why they made a Garfield 2. You know that? The reason why they made a sequel to Garfield was because it did so well over in England.
Oh, I thought they made that because my sister liked it so much.
Well, that too.
And our kids. So Well, the movie that you're speaking of,
Number 4
yes,
is
the one that beat Speed Racer and continuing to pound Speed Racers. What happens in Vegas?
What happened in Vegas, baby? Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Well, what happened in Vegas is that they beat the shit out of Speed Racer. I mean,
Every week.
I mean, the movie's going up to $60 million. I mean, who would have known, man?
Well, what else option is there for women right now?
But that much money, that much more than Speed Racer, I don't think anybody.
I didn't think. No. Nobody saw that.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That's the fact that every week it continues to just pounce on it, just time and again. In fact, what pissed me off. Remember, we had that big long discussion about playing with the numbers on Speed Racer.
Oh yeah.
And then the very next week, I'm reading CNN, and CNN is still claiming that Speed Racer had beaten what happened in Vegas the week before.
Well, see, that's funny you should say that, because the next day, Warner Brothers themselves, the next day we talked about it, Warner Brothers came out and said, here are the real numbers.
Yeah, and the real numbers were that it took third place that week. It made 18 million, not 20 million.
Mm-hmm.
But this is exactly what I was talking about. CNN, which you'd expect to have that kind of shit together, was still reporting the erroneous numbers from the week before.
Does CNN have some kind of weird stock in Warner Brothers or something? Or what's going on? I mean,
wait, okay, let me.
No, I know, I'm joking here. I know who owns who. I'm just making a weird joke.
Yeah, they're kind of owned by Warner Brothers, but still, that
Time Warner owns it. So, but the funny thing is, why would Warner Brothers come out and say that and then tell a news source to say,
they didn't. That's just it. Is that because people looked back at those original stories with the things rather than researching and doing the actuals. Some guy just wasn't paying attention.
So they just reading shit off of a teleprompter, and it's like, oh, okay. There's a guy in a Speed Racer helmet behind the camera.
Hey, here comes Speed Racer, fucking over CNN. All right, so let's go to number 3. Which, man, how is this movie?
Your boy,
my boy, Iron Man, baby.
Iron Man,
holding in there, motherfucker.
And I want to go back and recant on something I said later on the show.
Okay, I'll let you recant. I'm always about you. I will. While you're doing that, I'm going to go cook up a big old bowl of crow. No, and you can sit here and eat a big old bowl of crow.
We can't say it's a bowl of crow yet, because we have to see what happens. But I will go back and recount on something, and I'm going to bring it up because I'm hoping that you are as enthusiastic about it as I am.
Well, let's see. So number 2.
All right. Well, Iron Man, just in case you
Iron Man is number 3. Well, I said
$257 million. It's going to probably get $300 million before it's all over with.
That movie fucking rules, dude.
Yeah.
Favreau has arrived.
Yeah.
So number 2.
Number 2 is in a movie that's considered to be a disappointment. The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian.
Yeah, you know what? And here's why it's a disappointment. This was the wrong time to release this movie. I dug this movie. I dug this movie a lot.
So did I.
But it was released in the summer. The last one was such a big hit. Why? It was released in Christmas, over Christmas break, when the kids were off already, because the kids aren't out of school yet. And the families were all going out to see movies.
I don't remember. Was the last one released during Christmas?
Oh, yeah. It was released like I want to say December 18th, but that's not correct. It was over the Christmas break, and it never did blockbuster weekend numbers like, oh my God, it's through the roof. It was never Lord of the Rings, but it was the tortoise against the hare, every week. It was slow but steady, and ultimately it crawled over $300 million.
Yeah, I don't know when the movie was released, but I do agree that that is something that should have been released during more.
No, it's a Thanksgiving winter movie. If it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, that's where it should have really gone, because it would have cleaned up. But it was great, and you know what? People are still seeing it, and people are discovering how good it is.
Yeah, they're just saying it didn't open up as big as the last movie, so nobody.
And this is a big surprise. Whoever saw this as number 1? I mean, honestly, this came out of nowhere. The dark horse of this week, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Really?
I don't get it. I don't understand that. Who wants to see a 65-year-old man cracking a whip and jumping over shit? I don't think that's what people want to see.
It's a movie based on a video game called Pitfall. I mean, really, honestly, what the hell? No, of course, it was everybody knew it was good, and it fucking cleaned up hard.
Yeah, no, it's 126 million. If you take Thursday's count, 151 million. So
you take Thursday's count. Over the course of 5 days, it made $151 million.
Yeah, and that's an incredible amount of money to take for a 5-day weekend.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, it is several of the articles are like, well, it's kind of disappointing because it didn't break the records of this movie or this movie. But it's in the top 5, dude.
They're talking about, they're talking about breaking the record of Star Wars 3, Return of the Sith, or whatever it was, sit the fuck down, or whatever. And of course, it's just as much as
Star Wars Episode 3, sit the fuck down.
I don't know, man. Yeah, and you're right. It was December 8th that the Chronicles of Narnia was released. Not that I was disputing you. I just wanted to find out and make sure.
That was a Button-umathon weekend. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, Indiana Jones, man, it's so funny because you would swear that this is a political movie because people are so split on what they think about it.
Yeah.
And look,
people who love it, like me, love it. And the people who don't really are like, dude, you are crazy for liking this movie.
Well, we got the top 5 out the way. Before we get into the big news of the night, I want to bring up something with you. Now,
bring up something with me.
I'm one of those people who walked out of Indiana Jones, and you came up and asked me. You said, "What'd you think about it?" And I said, "I was all right. It was good." And you got offended. You like, "Oh man, you're gonna be a numbskull like this? How dare you? Somebody has to represent Indiana Jones, right?"
I believe the words I said is, "Oh, you're gonna be one of those numbskulls," because I knew exactly where you were going. I knew what you were gonna complain about.
Look, but see, I'm one of those people who like the movie, and I've come out to be a big pro Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls person because even if I wasn't overwhelmingly crazy about it, I don't understand these sons of bitches who come out and saying, "Oh, this was stupid. This could never happen." I'm like, where the fuck were you when Temple of Doom was out?
Well, my big thing was, really, you think this is implausible because a big golden box from God that melts people's faces off is much more plausible than this.
I brought something up earlier tonight. A man falling out of a airplane on a raft, sliding his way down a snow hill into India. Yeah. That's not crazy to you.
No, that's what was so great about these movies is that they were so unbelievably over the top and so much fun, and they took us back to a time when movies let us do this.
Yeah, people forget that whole scene where he's running with the gong. He picks up a skewer and throws it into a guy's chest.
No, they don't forget it, but what it boils down to is that when I wrote my review, my written review on it, it was really one of those things that it reminded me why I like the fact that I still look at a movie like a kid. Because this is a movie that made me feel 8 years old again, and I loved it. I looked at it, I said, oh my God, this is what it was like to watch Temple of Doom in a theater. This is what it was like to watch The Last Crusade in a theater. Oh my God, this is the reason I rented Raiders of the Lost Ark on Laserdisc so many times. I mean, it was...
This is where I have a different experience, but... Nevertheless, when I have fun memories of Temple of Doom, because I was a kid, saw it 4 times, loved it, saw it when I was a little bit older, and
that one doesn't hold up as much.
No, it does not. Still love Raiders, and
you know what? Say what we will about Temple of Doom, that the cart scene is still pretty fucking awesome.
Let me tell you something. I have fun memories of sitting in the theater with a friend of mine. And when they're on the cliff and they're dropping a henchman down into the river full of alligators, every time somebody fell, my friends and I would just scream in the theater, "Ah!" and we felt like we were in the movie and we had the best time. So regardless of what I think about the movie as an adult, they're never going to take that away from me when I felt it. But my point is, I haven't seen it again, and pretty recently. This movie is not as annoying. Crystal Skull is not as annoying as Temple of Doom. Kate Capshaw is terrible in that movie, in Temple of Doom.
You think she was screwing the director or something?
That's what somebody else said tonight, and I know. And that's why I was like, and when you look at that, you know that...
For those of you unaware, she married Steven Spielberg after that movie.
Exactly. And he was fucking her doing that whole time. And you look at that and you're thinking, man, she was so not right for this, and it's even worse knowing that he was just nailing that shit. And that's why she got the job.
See, somebody should have told, no time for love, Dr. Jones. I mean, that's really what it all... Dude, see that... But you know what? That's what I loved about this movie. It went back to the well, and it took us back to the girl who we all knew Indy belonged with the whole time.
Oh, man. See, that's what I don't understand. It's not as good as Last Crusade or Raiders, if you ask me. I think it's better than Temple of Doom, but they brought so many elements back that people said they were missing from all the other Indiana Jones movies. And I don't know what they're talking about.
It was just fun. It was just a good time. The thing is what people forget. See, this is one of the things that messed with me in the 90s was the fact that the minute they gave Steven Spielberg an Oscar, he became the system. He was always the outsider, making fun blockbuster films, and always used to be mocked by the more intelligentsia, the more elite, like Michael Bay is now. Like, oh, a Steven Spielberg movie, they'll ever give that fool an Oscar. He just makes kid films. Well, then he won Oscars, and then all of a sudden, whenever he goes to make his kids films, people are like, what are you doing?
Let me tell you something. All you fucking art school snobs out there, you film school bastards, they want to mock Steven Spielberg, and that guy he cannot be touched as far as his visual style in movies go. He can tell a story.
He can.
No words.
He has made mistakes in the past.
Oh, he's made some terrible movies. Everybody has that right. But as much as that guy has given, I just look back to one scene in Crystal Skull where it summed up that movie for me. And while I didn't really go crazy over the movie.
Which scene was it?
It was at the beginning where we're introduced to Indiana Jones again. You get that fedora that falls. The hand reaches it, and the silhouette putting on the hat. And I'm like thinking, this is why Steven Spielberg is a brilliant director, and he's going to be dismissed for this now. But later on, we're going to look at these movies. We're going to be like, even in some of his worst movies, he's a genius.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this film. This film was so much fun. I've been waiting for this weekend to get over with so I can go back and see it again because I didn't want to see it with the crowds.
You know, it's funny. Even though I wasn't crazy about the movie, I want to see it again, too, for some reason. I think if nothing else, and somebody's going to hate me for saying this because someone wrote an email saying, you fools don't like this for anything but nostalgia's sake. And, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
No, you know what, dude? Fuck you. Seriously. No, this isn't just nostalgia. This was a fun movie. Now, the thing is, there is a certain truth to that in so much that these movies were built out of nostalgia. Like the reason why Lucas made the Star Wars movies was because they wouldn't let him make Flash Gordon. He tried to get the rights to Flash Gordon. He couldn't get them, so he went and made the Star Wars movies instead. This was Steven Spielberg sitting down with George Lucas saying, hey, remember those awesome serials we used to watch when we were kids? What if we made one of those?
Yeah, no.
And that's what this is. And
those serials include Flash Gordon and the adventure serials back in the day.
Oh, Rocket Men from Mars.
Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Captain Marvel. All the various, old archaeologist, hero movies. There's tons of them.
But no, when you say nostalgia, it did bring me back. I want to be going on an adventure with Indiana Jones again.
Right, but that's not necessarily the only reason you liked it. I think that's kind of a bunk argument.
No, that's not the only reason why I liked it, but that was a large part because they said, well, this was The Mummy. And I'm like, you know what? This particular movie, you're going to disagree with me on this, but this movie, probably more like a Mummy movie in a way because of all the CG they can do now, but that didn't really bother me. But everybody talks about Indiana Jones. Was he the same Indiana Jones he was back in the day? And I'm like, for me, he was kind of better. I like the fact that he's older.
Well, yeah, and what they did is it was funny. See, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Dirty Dozen. I love The Dirty Dozen.
Man.
Now, have you seen the next Dirty Dozen?
No.
The next Dirty Dozen was a movie made almost 20 years later. It was made in the early 80s, and it had many of the same cast members.
And it was made in the
80s. So it is like it was like 19 years later, and they had the same cast, but the movie was set 6 months later. So here you have,
if they ever needed CG,
here you have these guys, rather than saying, hey, you know what, let's make it the Korean War. And let's make it to where, the colonel has, he's gotten himself in trouble, and, this old general remembers this guy and says, hey, I've got an idea. Let's set it in the Korean War, where it's over 10 years later. Then we can get away with them being older.
Exactly.
Let's set it in the beginning of Vietnam, where it was in that era. Let's set that and have a Dirty Dozen movies. No, they set it 6 months later, and so you're watching these old guys trying to pretend that they're 20 years younger. Here, the whole conceit of the movie is that he's old and tired, and in the interim, he's become a war hero. Indiana Jones is no longer just some archaeologist teacher. He fought in World War II. He was a spy. He was a badass. He's been decorated with more medals than Lord only knows.
Oh, yeah.
How many. And then what do we get? We get this guy who's old and tired and forced into one last adventure.
And forced into it, and that's what's always great. Unforgiven was great for that. I mean, it wasn't a particular character Clint Eastwood played, but it was the encompassment of all the characters he had played.
It was essentially what happened when the man with no name tried to settle down, and nobody would let him.
And he gets called back into one more murderous mission.
Yeah,
and I love that kind of mythology with characters. Let them grow old.
And that's exactly what I love about this movie. And Shia was awesome.
I don't know if he was awesome, but
he was awesome.
I liked him.
Dude, he kept up with Indiana Jones. He did not overshadow Indiana Jones, but man, you weren't looking at every scene with them. You weren't looking at him going, "What the hell is this kid doing in a scene with Harrison Ford?"
See, that's where you and I disagree.
There.
Like later on in the movie, every character except for maybe Indiana Jones, they were and him, even him to a certain degree, were interchangeable props for whatever set piece was going on next.
And that's what happened in every Indiana Jones movie.
Except I think we had a little more character in Last Crusade and in the first one than we did in this movie during the first. Oh, sorry. So, but anyway, yeah, I think one thing we can both agree on is that people are just full of shit. I think when they're coming down too hard in this movie, saying things like, "Oh, Indiana Jones wasn't that memorable of a character. All these movies were kind of throwaway." I'm like, why all of a sudden? Why are we having all these criticism about these movies that people loved for decades?
Well, because it's the standard critical disconnect. I mean, it really is. These people are trying to rationalize why they didn't like the movie, and so they think that belittling the history of Indiana Jones will actually allow them to, call the movies out for what they're seeing them as.
Yeah, I mean, I respect, me, I would say that's an opinion, but look, I told you, I wasn't even crazy about the movie. I liked the movie, but don't sit up here and tell me that Indiana Jones is not a memorable character when we have an icon in a fedora and a whip.
Greatest characters ever.
Yeah, and that theme song, synonymous with any adventure.
You hear that, you hear the Raiders march, and it gets you in the gut.
Oh yeah, no, you want to swing across something. That's right. Almost bust my ass trying to swing across the street.
I love the swinging.
So let's go ahead.
So you said you wanted to recant on something?
It'll be a fun discussion. Let's go ahead and get in touch on the big news right now.
Oh yeah,
which is Sidney Pollack, man.
Yeah. Oh, I hate these.
Right before you got here, cut on the internet and see that Sidney Pollack is dead at age 73
of cancer. And the thing is, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, and a lot of you out there may not be familiar with Sidney Pollack, he's been a longtime director, and the thing is it's. When you look at his directorial history, he's only got a few really great classic films, like films that really define the genre.
Out of Africa and Tootsie. And,
The Way We Were.
And was it 3 Days of the Condor?
3 Days of the Condor. Yeah. Now, the thing is most of these movies are great in concepts for what they are, because they were groundbreaking at the time. Mm-hmm. He also directed The Firm.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise, yeah.
And his last really good one.
What was his last good one?
His last really good one. Because, I mean, the last one that we saw, that he directed was The Interpreter.
And the last one that he directed that none of us really saw, I forgot, was...
he did a documentary.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was a documentary about a guy about an architect.
The Interpreter was very lackluster.
It was,
very mild
but
movie.
the thing that was so great about him was he was an icon in the industry, and he produced a lot of stuff. Now, what was the last great thing he produced? Well,
the George Clooney movie.
He produced and acted in Michael Clayton.
That's
which, if you haven't seen it, fantastic film, deserved every Oscar it was nominated for. Yeah. Then you've also got he produced Leatherheads, which I quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
And if you go through his history, he produced so many films, and you're like, oh my God, this guy. There is film owes so much to him.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It breaks my heart because I saw that article. I've met him.
Oh, yeah?
I got a chance to meet him once.
In a bathroom stall next to him or something?
No. He came down for Austin Film Festival one year, and I met him in the lobby of the Driscoll. It was literally one of those things where everybody was standing around having drinks, and here comes Sidney Pollack, and the whole room is just like, oh, shit, that's Sidney Pollack. Holy shit. And he walked by, and I just had to shake his hand and chat with him for a second, because he's such an icon.
Your hand started glowing when you shook his hand.
Well, dude, look, there are a few people you meet that are just larger than life. You know, you meet you've met plenty of celebrities like I have. You know, you run this circuit enough. You get the introductions, you do the interviews.
Yeah,
and there are people you meet that are, you know, they're everyday guys. Like when I met and hung out with Shia last year, he was just a dude. You know, we just hung out all night and talked dork shit. And he was just a guy, and I would tell you, he's just like any other guy you know. Then there are people like Sidney Pollack who you meet and they seem to have a glow about them. And when they walk into a room, everybody fucking notices. Another person who I met like that was Michael Landon. Michael Landon was the same way. He would walk into
Little Home on the Prairie,
from Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, and Highway to Heaven. He would enter a room and just every eye would fall on him, and he
actually had angel wings.
You didn't know what to say. It was just like you were just flabbergasted. It was like, oh my god, this guy.
Sidney Pollack just seemed like a cool dude because he had such a body of work. But what were the last two appearances he made? Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Maid of Honor.
Did he show up in Forgetting Sarah Marshall? What was he?
I think, he was the doctor. He was in the doctor's office. He was the one that said, like the guy was sitting in there saying, "Oh, you know, what do I do? I can't get over this girl." Like, no, he said, "I think I have a sexual disease or something." He's like, "Look, I'm a pediatrician."
Yeah, no. I could have sworn that wasn't that Harold Ramis.
You know what? That was Harold Ramis. I'm sorry.
I was like, Sidney Pollack? No, that was Harold Ramis.
But he was in Maid of Honor.
Maid of Honor.
Now,
was
keep in
his
mind,
final
I didn't see Forgetting Sarah Marshall. So.
Yeah, no. Or I think it's Harold Ramis.
No, you're right. But, you know what? I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let me look it up.
But anyhow,
I thought that was him.
Point is, he showed up in Maid of Honor. Although, you know what I find amusing? Here was the thing that I noticed today. Wait, you're looking it up.
No, I'm listening to you.
Well, you look it up. The last thing he produced that was, went out to the public showed this week, and that was Recount. And he produced Recount, which was on HBO, and the critics just raved about it. And I've been reading about it all weekend. And it's almost as if that was his last big final project, and it went really well. It showed, all went well, and he said, "Okay, I can leave now."
It's kind of like, my work here is done.
My work here is done.
I can die now. He just collapses on the floor. So no, he's a Rosebud. Recount. So yeah, that HBO movie. I've just been getting a lot of news. About the Florida ballot votes, and
it's supposedly really fucking good.
I heard that it's not that great, but the actors are good, and especially what's her name? I was in Jurassic Park. Citizen Ruth and stuff.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. I heard she's really good in that. I heard that itself is just when they really focus on real shit that happened. That's when it's most interesting. But anyway, Sidney Pollack, legend.
And seriously, guys, if you're listening to this and you're making a movie list for this week and you're not familiar with Sidney Pollack, hit the IMDb page, check out the Netflix queue, and throw up stuff. Definitely have to check out Tootsie if you like. Romantic films. The Way We Were is a classic. Robert Redford and God, what is her name? Barbara Streisand. It's like one of those classic going through the years movies that inspired an entire genre of them.
Are you talking about Tootsie?
No, I'm talking about The Way We Were.
Oh, The Way We Were.
Yeah. Tootsie, of course, is just a fantastic comedy that still holds up with Dustin Hoffman. That movie's just fucking funny.
You know what? I don't know what a lot of his appearances because I don't watch a lot of television. I haven't seen some of the movies that he's been in, but he was in 5 episodes of Will and Grace.
He played the dad.
Yeah, he
played. I think was it.
I don't know. I never watched
Dad
Will
or Grace's dad. He played the dad to one of the 2 main characters.
He just looked like a cool dude. He
was around everybody loved him. He was literally he had that presence, and everybody loved being around him. He was the voice. In fact, it's so great. It's one of those great appearances of his in The Majestic. There's a scene where in The Majestic, you've seen The Majestic, right?
Yeah.
In The Majestic, there's
Jim Carrey. Right?
Jim Carrey. Is a Hollywood screenwriter, and he's sitting in an office making a pitch, and off screen there's a guy talking about the film and how he wants to change the film. You know what would be great? If we'd have a dog. And it's Sidney Pollack.
And that's Sidney Pollack.
And you recognize his voice because his voice is unmistakable. Where most people, sadly, where most people in our audience will know him is that really great commercial he did for No Talking at the Movies.
At the beginning of the movie,
where he's like, "I'm sorry, is my directing getting in the way of your cell phone call?"
Yeah, no, a lot of you kids out there, you probably won't know him as much because he did a lot of more serious films that were out of your interest, guaranteed. Except for
And out of Corey's interest, as proven by tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen a lot of his classic films, and I've seen a lot of his films I really didn't like. Sabrina, I thought it was a terrible movie.
Oh my! I have that on DVD, dude. I love that remake.
Can't stand it.
Oh God. Well, you don't like romantic comedies all that much.
That I've seen the original Sabrina. And
I love the original Sabrina, but I do like the remake a lot. With the one with Harrison Ford and
what's his name from Talk Soup?
Yeah,
Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear, and of course, God, I actually really like that version.
I think that movie sucked.
I just watched it like 6 months ago.
I mean, but that's just me. Yeah, and I just told you the Interpreter I thought wasn't that great of a movie.
Well, yeah, we all felt the Interpreter was kind of meh.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff he produced I love. So anyway, well, hey, rest in peace. There you go.
Rest in peace, brother. Raise your glass to Mr. Pollack.
There's another one. So now there's two other famous people who are scared as shit because they go in threes. So like tomorrow, it's gonna be like somebody's like, "Fuck, am I going next? I'm hiding under my bed tonight." So okay, this thing that I want to recant on.
Okay, what are you taking back?
All right, as you know, I've been talking mad major shit about the Hulk.
Yes, I do know.
Talking about the Hulk, talking about, man, I don't know, just I'm kind of iffy about it. Hulk ain't really doing anything for me. Hulk ain't shit. And one of the users put up a clip, and I've seen some trailers. First of all, these new trailers, I was like, man, now that looks cool.
Now let me guess, the clip that changed your mind was the one with Tim Roth where he took the super soldier serum.
No. Where he's fighting? No, I saw that months ago, and I was or at least last month, and I was like, that's okay. It's a cool scene. I was kind of turned around. I was like, yeah, I think this movie would be good. But have you seen the clip of the Abomination and the Hulk fighting in the middle of Harlem? And it's about
I've avoided that stuff because I want to see that big first. I don't want to see that online.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm glad I saw it
because it appears to have given you a geek on.
Dude, I looked at that and I was like, fuck that last Hulk. That's what this shit is about. Hulk is pissed, tearing up a police car and using the two halves of it like a pair of boxing gloves. Now, that sounds stupid when I'm telling you about it.
No, it doesn't. No, that sounds like a fucking comic book movie.
Yeah, and I mean, the Hulk is mad.
Well, and the scene that they used was stolen right out of a really awesome comic where, the bit where they kick Bruce Banner out of the helicopter.
Oh, the Ultimates.
Yeah,
I got that book, man.
Yeah, no, in the Ultimates where, in the comic book what's happening is Captain America's slapping around Bruce Banner saying, "Come on, Hulk out for me, you little bitch," and he won't do it because he doesn't want to unleash the Hulk. He's like, "Fine," and kicks him out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
And Bruce Banner's just falling, and then you just hear a "Doom."
Oh,
and then Nick Fury goes, "Wow, that's a rather loud sound for a 98-pound bookworm." And then the Hulk comes out and kicks everyone's ass.
Oh yeah, no. In this movie, they drop the Hulk out of a helicopter, and he lands and comes out of the rubble. And I mean, in this clip, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but if you're unconvinced that the Hulk is probably going to be good, and you still can't say, but I remember
a few weeks ago, you're like, no way is the Hulk going to do as good as Iron Man. No way.
I don't know money wise if it will.
Well, nobody does.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, the Hulk has a serious contender where Iron Man did not. I mean, the Hulk comes out June 13th, opposite The Happening.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, with
I didn't know The Happening was coming
Ding Dong.
out. Yeah. Fuck, why would they do that, man?
Because they're appealing to two different audiences.
Yeah, but it seems like the Hulk, if they really wanted to get that money, put it up against something.
No. I think
against.
the Hulk was probably placed first, and then The Happening came later.
Yeah, well,
and they probably said, look, the first Hulk didn't do all that hot. We can contend with the Hulk, and then we can actually displace a superhero movie and get the kind of buzz that this movie needs.
Move into the mic a little bit. I'm just pissed off because they obviously put out an inferior product with those early trailers. They put out something where the effects were obviously not complete.
Well, they were still working on it, but they were like, look, we have to get trailers out there. We have to, because, the long-held contention was that there could be only one, that only one superhero movie could really be profitable in a summer. And this was sandwiched between Iron Man and Batman. And, Green Man just wasn't selling to the people as much. So like, look, we got to get trailers out there. But you know what? At least they didn't blow their wad early. The trailers get better and better and better.
Some people are already convinced. I mean, the mind's a crazy thing, Carlisle.
You know what? And the thing is, the problem is getting people in theaters opening weekend is not what it's all about. It's about the race. It's not about the start. Too many people focus on the first weekend and forget that if a movie gets buzz, I mean, even if it gets creamed the first weekend by The Happening, if it's a great movie and everybody comes out going, oh my God, the Hulk is so awesome, dude, you got to see it. And they're blogging about it all week and they're telling their friends are going to go see it. And their friends are going to go, oh my God, it's so awesome, you got to go see the Hulk. And they're going to see it again. And it's going to spread.
I think that's wishful thinking because
you say it.
Yeah, because I really think today, and it's spilled over into the average person, the average moviegoer, not just the studios, that first weekend is crucial.
Generally, yes. Now, oddly enough, M. Night Shyamalan, of all people, was the guy who broke that mold. Back in August of '99, he had his film The Sixth Sense, which everybody looked at and said, God damn it, another Bruce Willis with a kid movie? Who's going to want to see that? And about $30 million worth of people went to see it.
Can I tell you what the difference is, though? That movie is a sleeper hit. The movie came out, and no one expected it to do that well.
Well, that's what's happening with the Hulk. What if it does?
But see, Hulk is a high-profile film.
It's a high-profile one, but it's a high-profile one people aren't exactly planning to do well.
The Sixth Sense wasn't a property. It wasn't a well-established product, and the Hulk is that. I mean, so there's
I'm not saying there's a direct correlation. I'm saying this could happen. That if the movie's good, it will do well.
I mean, I hope it does. I mean, really, I just think they fucked up because they fuck with people's minds, man. People look at that, and even though they improve the special effects, in their mind, they look at that image, and they're still thinking back to the bad special effects. And I'm looking at this now. I know, but I'm thinking, wow.
Keep in mind, great. The internet trailers mean nothing. As you have said time and time again, wait till the week before and see what the trailers on TV say. See how many times the TV spots show and how awesome it looks.
Well, they're showing the TV spot right now, and people are kind of picking up on it.
Well, but they're showing. They're starting to show them now. Wait till the week before it opens.
I just love it, though. I finally realized now how much of a whiny bitch that Hulk in the last movie was. Walking around just kind of thinking, not really getting angry. I mean, this Hulk is fucking pissed, and that's what I want to see.
Well, that was the point of the Hulk all along.
Yeah, shit. I mean, the Hulk has got hemorrhoids all up in his ass. He's having a bad day. People are fucking with him, and he's just not going to take it. He's
like, what happens when we keep you up for like 36 hours working on something and then give you some beer?
I don't do that anymore. I don't Hulk out anymore.
You don't do that any less either.
I've gotten control over my inner Hulk.
Yeah.
I agree with that. There was a time.
I'd like to rate that statement some old bullshit.
I don't. I am a different person now.
Yes.
I do not. Look, people, he's telling the truth. There was a time when I was not sleeping.
It was called last week.
No, I don't do it anymore. I've gotten control. I don't drink as much as I used to, and I don't.
But when you combine those two, it was,
I work.
Corey Coleman's super pimp. It was just like, I smack you, motherfucker. I'll smack you.
No, you're right. You'd see me like fall behind a table, and I come up, my shirt all torn and shit. Corey smash.
Yeah, it was. Let me tell you how much fun that was.
Seriously, I have mellowed out more and more. I'm not saying that I am completely 100% calm, but I'm working on that. I don't do it as much as I used to. That is a guaranteed statement from me. As long as you don't piss me off.
Yeah.
And give me beer.
Yeah.
No, look, we've spent every week drinking beer. I think you and I have argued, like, seriously, but there wasn't been any crazy shit.
Like the 20 minutes that got edited from 2 weeks ago?
What was that about?
That was about me kind of going on a half-assed thing, saying, "Oh, hey, I really don't want to. I really don't want to talk about Mariah Carey."
But there was no screaming. There was no screaming.
Oh,
there was no yelling. No. Oh no. It was just a rambling. Like, oh, well, what do you want to do? You want to do what you want to do? And that's all it was. It was that tone. It was more of a snarky, long, childish conversation.
Pissed. Oh my God, were you pissed?
No, I was. No,
you were so pissed. You excised 20 minutes of a couple of old ones.
No. I was not pissed. I was just kind of at a standstill, and I was wondering what to do. And I just said, "Well, this is obviously going nowhere." So I'm
you make it sound like you're so rational, when there was nothing rational about that conversation.
No, it was very smart ass. It was like I said, it was just childish. And I mean, so I thought nobody wanted to hear it, so I just cut it out. But I agree with you there. It was, but nobody was screaming. You know,
And later you were like, sorry, man, I didn't get any sleep.
No, I didn't say I didn't get any
Yes,
sleep.
you did.
No, I just said, I got to learn to read you more. I mean, certain things work better than some others. I just said, hey, that wasn't a good topic for us to bring up with you. Okay. And I wrote you an email and said that. And nowhere in that email did I say I did not get any sleep. I did
not in the email. Not in the email.
I didn't even say that in person.
Okay, I was under that impression.
No. I was.
Well, as long as you're sleeping on a regular schedule now and staying away from alcohol, there, Dr. Jekyll.
Well, I'm not sleeping, but even if I don't drink as much, and even then, if that was the case, excuse me, I would not be.
Well, the problem isn't you drinking. And the problem isn't you not sleeping. The problem is you not sleeping and then drinking. I mean, it's a combination of things. It's like eat Mentos all you want and drink Diet Coke all you want. Everything's fine. Do it at the same time. Your ass is gonna blow up like a fucking seagull.
I'm gonna go tear up a police car and chuck it at your ass.
That's
No,
right.
It's like no. I look. I actually had
bullshit.
I had some reflection a while back, and I said, hey. You gotta stop yelling at people. It ain't like it used to be.
You climbed the mountaintop and sat with the Dalai
I did,
Lama.
man. I had a guru that I sat down with. It was called Shina Bach, and I just sat back and I said, hey, yeah, I gotta
chill the fuck out.
I do, yeah. I gotta learn how to understand people more. Hopefully, people understand me more. But I'm not gonna get anywhere by yelling at people. Hey, all you people out there, and Carlisle's right. Back in the day, you should have seen me at the bar. Throwing a fucking fit.
How many times we watched you pick fights with strangers?
Did I really?
Oh yeah, my favorites were when you'd pick fights with Leon.
Wait a minute, pick fights with strangers?
Yeah, where you just start yelling at some dude and just motherfucker. We would never catch what started it, but there you are fighting with some stranger, and somebody, come on, Corey, let's kind of no, fuck you, man, fuck you.
Okay, it's been a long time since I've done that.
Yeah, no, but you were talking about days back at the bar.
I do remember, and to your credit, you weren't even around, but I was there at the bar with Cyrus, and Cyrus's boss even had to tell me, like, hey, man,
I heard about that.
Friends, you got to go, man. I was like, oh, you go fucking kick me out. Come across the bar, kick me out, motherfucker. I had to come back the next day, and I was so.
What you forgot to mention was Cyrus was working at that bar. It's not his boss. It was the owner of the bar was telling Cyrus, you have to have your friend leave or else you're going to get fired. Oh, you're going to throw me out.
Yeah, no, I went back and apologized, and it was such a regular thing with me that the guy even said, the bartender even said that it was over Cyrus. He said, look, man, I know what condition you're in. I just wanted you to get out of there before you got too crazy and we really would have to like
call the cops.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So no, I've had some anger management issues, and and maybe this is why I'm looking forward to the Hulk so much.
Yeah. It's like finally some motherfucker who understands me.
Look, notice I'm not talking about I'm talking about how good the effects are, but notice how many times I've said that motherfucker's mad.
He's mad.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I'm looking forward to the Hulk. Totally recant on that. Hope the movie does well. I hope to see Iron Man and the Hulk team up. My fear, and you know more about these characters than I do, and I had to talk about co-host on this subject last week. Thor. They say Thor can be a badass movie, but I do not know realistically on film how Hulk and especially Iron Man can exist side by side with Thor and be convincing and not be cheesy.
I think it can be done very well.
Because Thor is an actual god.
Well, he's an actual god, but he's just a dude. He's a big hulking dude with long hair and a hammer.
But can we really buy him fighting alongside Tony Stark when everybody knows that, oh, he really does come from a magical land and he really is a god, a deity? I mean,
well, but the thing is now, depending on how they follow the storyline, the original storyline of Thor, the character... Thor uses the body of a guy here in the real world that he's channeled.
How did that ever work out in the Ultimates? Because I didn't get to the end. They thought he was a crazy guy.
Well,
I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
I don't want to ruin it.
Okay, never mind. That's true.
The point is there was a whole big storyline as to whether Thor was crazy and really just a guy who believed he was a god. Yeah. Or whether his half-brother Loki was pulling tricks on him and convincing everyone that he was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was, let's just say it was a really good storyline.
All right. Okay.
But
So
I really think it can work. Did you hear the rumors coming out this week of what
This
it
week?
looks like they're going to do?
No, what?
It looks like they're going to do a period Captain America film.
Oh, no, I heard that. They're going to put it in World War II.
They're going to set it in World War II, and the end of the film will be him being in the explosion, cast into the ocean, and
Is he going to wake up in present time?
And then he'll wake up. What he'll wake up in is the Avengers movie, because in the original Avengers series, issue 4 was them pulling Captain America out of the ocean.
He went batshit crazy, like beating people up to know where
that
he
was in the Ultimates. In the Ultimates,
in the Ultimates, yeah, that's my biggest point of reference
and,
there.
but yeah, that they're gonna do that, and that's going to apparently what they want to do is they want the Captain America movie to come out 6 weeks before the Avengers movie, and so Captain America will end with the big cliffhanger and come and see the Avengers here in 6 weeks, where the Avengers will all be together and kick motherfucking ass.
Hey, man, I would love to see nothing more than that.
Oh, my God, that would be so awesome.
But yeah, no, that is the perfect thing to put him in World War II.
Yeah.
Have him fight the Red Skull.
Have him fight the Red Skull and bash Nazi heads in.
Oh, yeah.
And, dude, it would be awesome.
Be fucking Indiana Jones in a gay-ass outfit, but that's cool. I hope they do that. And was that the intention to actually have him wake up in present time, or are people saying that's what should happen at the end of the movie?
Well, no, that's always been the story. Is that he gets frozen and he wakes up in present time. And it's not that he just wakes up, it's that the Avengers find him.
Well, I know that's what happens, but I didn't know if that's what they want to do with the movie.
Yes, that's what they want to do with the movie.
All right, well, cool. If they can do that, then great. All right, man, we got about 13 minutes left.
Okay.
You said you had some email.
I got an email today from Fraz.
Fraz. How you spell that? F-R-A-Z?
Yes, from Fraz, and he sent me this email, which it was an incredible revelation.
What?
He said, Carlisle, I just figured something out. He said, Corey is always talking about getting women, but he's got an earring in his right ear, which means he's gay. I don't know if he's figured it out yet, but could you please bring it up on a couple of cold ones? Thanks, Fraz.
And I would say, what the fuck century is he living in? Because I have an earring. I have earrings in both ears,
which means you're hella gay.
No, which means that it doesn't even matter today. Let's look back at, first of all, I'd like to point back to Pulp Fiction.
How dark is it in that closet?
No. Hey, first of all, let's go back to Pulp Fiction, where we have two characters. We have Ving Rhames, who's a badass in that movie with 2 earrings. And then we have...
Wait, is that the same Ving Rhames that then turned around and did a movie about being a crossdresser?
That would be the same one. But in that movie, he had no earrings. But then we have, not only that, but we have John Travolta with an earring in his right ear, not in the left one.
John Travolta, is that the same John Travolta that appeared in Hairspray as a woman?
But in our hair is probably a little funny in real life. but he's but no, in the movie he's a straight arrow. So I mean, I don't know. This must be like some sort of middle school kid.
Do you have any references outside of Pulp Fiction that could possibly reinforce?
There's plenty of them.
Do you have any?
No,
you don't. You gay bastard.
No, I mean...
You've been outed by Fraz. Do you realize that? Fraz has come out and proven.
No.
Scientifically.
Oh, scientifically, yes.
It's scientifically proven.
I love that research you did. I love this research, this scientific research that he did.
My favorite part of the email, because I was quoting that verbatim, because I doubled over laughing so hard when I read this, because he's like, I just figured it out. Because we haven't been joking with you about this.
I would say, look at all your sports figures out there. There's a lot of them. And I guess the biggest...
That are gay?
No, that are straight and have... the biggest difference between... Well, the difference between them and me is that they have diamonds in each of their ears. Mine are hoops, so that probably throws people off. But I don't want to go around... See, because fucking diamonds seem more gay to me.
Gay or a pirate or both.
Well, I think diamonds, they're real sparkly and shiny. First of all, I don't want to go around with big fucking rocks in my ears.
Hey, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Apparently, Corey is a guy's best friend.
Well, hey, I don't have anything to worry about.
Do you give a good reach around?
Hey, man, all I know is I've gotten a lot of ass lately, so... No, I won't say lately. That's just me talking out my ass right now.
So you're accused of being gay.
I'm just talking.
About how much ass you've gotten?
I'm just talking. I'm talking out my ass right now. But no, man, I don't care. Do you know how long I've gotten that shit and don't really even give a damn anymore? I mean,
do you think maybe there's something to that?
Nah, because there's plenty of guys with both ears pierced, and it doesn't matter. I mean, just because I can't think of any right now, I can go right after I'm done here. You can get on the internet and you can see tons of rock stars and athletes with 2 rings in their ear.
And they're all gay.
No, you go ahead and speculate all you want to, and not only that, but tell some of them to their faces that they are, and that's fine. But nah, I don't worry about it.
Gay.
Okay, hey, I'm not going to sit up and argue with you. If you want to think I'm gay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. You just keep chugging along.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I mean, what do you want me? Just like one of those questions. What do you want me to say?
I thought it was awesome because it opened up with, "Hey, Carlisle, I just figured something out."
As a matter,
it's like we haven't been giving you this crap for like 7 years now.
And first of all, it's crap that I don't care about because in all these years, and see,
you're getting a little too defensive.
No, I'm not getting defensive. You ask me a question.
Too much.
No, see, then I like the argument. Like when you defend yourself, the typical argument to make the person look bad is, "Oh, why are you getting so defensive?" It's like, hey, you ask me a question.
Let me
I can answer it if you want to hear it. If
give
you
you a little tip.
No, let me give you a little tip.
Oh well,
yeah,
keep that to
and I know it's like everything I say is going to be a gay reference, and this is so childish right now. And all I can say is,
everybody out there is just losing.
No, nobody's losing it. It's like because really, like I said, man, you can go on the internet right now and look at tons of people with 2 earrings. If you're still thinking that this whole thing of having, even if you have both ears pierced and earring in your left ear is gay, then you're fucking 14 years old. I mean, that's it. You're not an adult because there's plenty of people out there who have both ears pierced and are fucking not only some of the most macho people out there, but they're like athletes and they are and they're big rock stars. So I mean, that's that.
Did you sleep today?
Hey, yeah. See, the thing that you do it is like every answer I give you is you sit back and like, you're gay. Hey, I can say anything. Hey, Corey, you gay? No. Why are you getting so defensive?
And the beauty is you keep working harder and harder.
I don't. You can look. What do you want me to say? I mean, you just.
Hey.
I can like sit up here and keep telling you. And see, this is the thing. This is the thing you're gonna make me do. Is like you're gonna make me like appear like an asshole when I come back and say that I have had more women than you guys will probably ever see in your lifetime. So that is the main thing that keeps me sitting back and saying, I don't give a fuck what you say about me. So that's the bottom line right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All you had to say was, who doesn't love a good ass poking?
No, that's what you say. That's your line. And that's funny because
love a good ass poking?
And it's funny that you asked me the gay thing when for 2 weeks in a row, that has been your mantra. I love a good ass poking.
Now,
who loves a good ass poking?
The thing is, we've never said that we love a dude ass poking. I just love a good ass poking.
And when you say that, it really makes it sound like you are the receiving end of it.
And yet,
I like a good ass poking.
And yet, because I don't care, that illustrates
and I like
how
the way you are defending yourself right now.
Who has to defend myself?
You hear this? Why are you getting so defensive now? You see?
I'm not. Like, I just love ass poking.
And no, that's what I'm saying. And
who doesn't love a good ass poking?
I do not. So
you do not love a good ass poking.
Not on the receiving end, no. And let me just apologize to our gay audience out there because while I'm not gay, I am not saying that it's wrong to be gay. So,
but what we are saying is, God bless California and overturning that law.
Oh, you goddamn right,
God
man.
bless them.
That is the most ridiculous fucking thing I have ever heard. You got all these gay people out there who want to adopt children and they can't do it legally, or they want the same legal rights as straight people do. And I say, if you want to adopt some little badass kids and suffer like everybody else does, then by all means, you can have it. If you want some little fucking terrible twos running about and causing all kind of misery, you deserve it as much as a straight person. So I agree with that. And it would be California that would be first.
Well, no, California's second, but
what was the first then?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Massachusetts would like be one of the last people to want to do that.
Are you kidding me? That's the home of the fucking Kennedys, dude. That's one of the most liberal states in the union.
Oh, really?
No. Massachusetts is hella liberal.
I will tell you, I know nothing
They're the
about
people who keep electing Teddy Kennedy over and over again.
Well, no, you're right, man. Speaking of gay people and whatnot, I know we joke around about being gay, and we want to let people know that we are some of the most anti-homophobic people in the world. So
we're coming up. Where's your email, my man? I know you got some.
It's a good email here.
Oh, good. Does it have anything to do with me wearing 2 earrings? Because I don't think it could take that.
No, it has something to do with you getting a good ass poking. No,
who doesn't love a good ass
poking? Somebody
wants
to know if you love it, they can give it to you. would you like it? No, actually, this is a good email here, and it's something we've talked about for a long time. It says when CGI is used in the waterfall scene in Indiana Jones, I really cannot help but think that Indiana Jones is not really in danger. Today, most movies like War of the Worlds or The Matrix use CGI or green screen, and it's actually intense. But I still can't help but feel that Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull was just not in danger. And I guess where you're going with this is you're getting on that whole bandwagon of did they use too much CGI in the latest movie, and it's CGI used a little bit too much in movies. Period. I just real quick, since we only have about 4 minutes here, it's just a tool like anything else. If you use it too much, then you probably stand a chance of ruining your whatever effect you want to get across. However, if you blend it in well or use it sparingly or wisely, it can be useful like anything else.
Here's a great example. In the box office now, holding in, everybody loves it. Hardly anyone has a bad word for it. And I'll even go back. I'm going to go back in time here. About 6 months ago, we were watching the Super Bowl and talking about it. Mm-hmm. And you and co-host went off on me because you saw that scene in Iron Man where he shoots the tank with the missile.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, man, that scene looks awful. It looks like a fucking video game. This movie looks like it might suck. But then when you see it in terms of the movie, Favreau used enough real world stuff. I mean, they had real suits mocked up for anything that they could actually physically do. And the end result is, while there was CGI in that movie wasn't all about CGI. The stuff that was CGI was the stuff like, well, yeah, of course you're
But you see what they did? First of all, we have a very shiny surface with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which worked, but they showed us enough shots of, what's his name, inside of Robert Downey Jr., inside of the suit.
Yeah.
And so that blended well. That's something we did not see. Now, when you get into more organic things, it does not work all that well still, I think.
Spielberg is an old school filmmaker, and he and Lucas have not, while they're both masters, they have both suffered at the hands of CGI. Mm-hmm. They have used CGI in the wrong ways. Lucas forgot the reason why we love the Star Wars films is because he shot in all these bizarre locations to make it feel like alien landscapes. We felt like we were on Tatooine. We felt like we were on Dagobah. Mm-hmm. There isn't a single scene in any of those first three, in the prequels, that genuinely feels like they're shooting on location. Hell, there's not even, because they went for a CG Yoda instead of a puppet Yoda, Sam Jackson can't even look Yoda in the eye. He's always looking over his head.
He's looking at a fucking tennis ball on the set.
Exactly. He's looking at this tennis ball and trying to act with a fucking tennis ball. And that's the thing, is these guys, you know what? I do not fault people who are upset with the CGI in Indiana Jones, but the truth is, it's just these guys. I wish Luke, that Spielberg had listened to his gut. His gut told him to go back and shoot it old school and use matte paintings and, just make it look. Do you realize what would have happened had he done that? Critics would have lost their damn fool minds.
It would have been more universal praise.
They would have called him, even if they didn't dig the film, they would have said, I love what he's doing. He really went back to the old school with this. Instead, he went with CG. I was fine with the CG, but,
Well, let me just make a real quick statement here. We got a couple of minutes. I would implore people to go and look at an old movie that is the epitome of what old school special effects can do. And that is John Carpenter's The Thing. You go back and look at that, and it's real, it's there, and no amount of CGI effects can copy what prosthetics and animatronic effects can do when they do it well. And I'm even saying today, combine the two. If you go back and look at I Am Legend, the biggest problem with that movie is that the vampires or whatever creatures they are look completely fake. If they had combined that, probably with actors playing in a lot of makeup, combined it with CGI effects for some of the more extraordinary things they have to do, I think that'd be better.
Let me back that up. What was the best part of that movie? What was the character
of what?
Of I Am Legend?
The dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
Which was it, a CGI dog?
No, it was a real fucking
trained dog. And you fell in love with Sam. And when I was with a girl. Swear to God, I was actually with a girl.
We got to wrap this up. Well, no, keep going.
I was with a girl at the theater, and the minute.
Let me just pause it real here because the machine's gonna stop. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna let you jump back in, but I just want to say that was a pretty fucking cool video you showed me.
Oh yeah, during the break, we had to take a break because we had reached the end of our time limit. I had to show him Pork and Beans on YouTube.
The Weezer song.
Because he had not. If you have not seen this, after you're done listening to this, please, by all means, watch Pork and Beans, the Weezer video. It's a great song. In fact, I watched the video, loved it so much, I had to go to Napster and buy it to put on my.
You bought it?
Oh yeah, I had to buy. Dude, if I love something, I go out and I fucking
shell out
pay
the money
for it.
All right, you're man of your word.
Because I pay for Napster every month, so I get the music that I want.
Yeah.
It's like renting, but you can buy MP3s. And I went out and I'm like, dude, I gotta fucking buy this album.
Well, I just say I'm not gonna say anything about the video except if you keep up with YouTube and you love it, by all means, go watch this video. It's funny as shit.
But the thing is you're saying that and everybody listening is like, yeah, we already fucking saw that video. Dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm the one that's behind.
You're behind time.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I love the video.
Those few left that have not seen it, dude, I love that video. So anyhow, what I was saying was I went and saw this movie with a real honest-to-God girl.
Flesh and blood, not blown up anything?
Flesh and blood,
okay.
Dude. So, man, when what happens to the dog happened to the dog, she was in tears. I mean, that was the most affecting part of the movie. She just lost it. And she's like, oh, my God, I can't believe they went there. And and emotionally, that tore her up. And she still talks about that with that movie. Sam. I love Sam. Sam's such a great character. And it really was. And Sam proves that, you know what? The old-fashioned methods sometimes are still the best. Because I'll bet you some douchebag there was like, you know what? We should just do the dog CG. No way we can get a real dog to do that. No, you get a real, honest-to-God dog, and the audience will go nuts.
It's funny you should mention that. I saw the video, the DVD the other day with someone who was like, I'm not really into Will Smith movies. I don't know why I want to watch this. And they were in the room.
Who isn't into Will Smith
I won't even say
movies?
anything, but they just had this whole attitude of I am above, I am legend. And look, the movie's not that great. But
I didn't know you hung out with people who were in the KKK.
Well, I was held captive.
Were you in West Virginia in Hillary country?
I was tied up in a chair and was forced to watch it with them. So, no, and that guy said, "That damn dog, I can't believe it. That nigga right there really is kind of cool." No, they would kind of, like I said, film school snob. It was like, I'm above a Will Smith movie. Put on something art house, but. That moment when that dog was dying, the girl in the room looked up, and her expression was, and her words were, "Oh no, oh no."
Yeah, no, you fall in love with Sam. Sam is one of my favorite characters from last year. She was such a great dog.
That dog should have got an Oscar.
Not an Oscar, but damn it, that dog was that's a memorable. I mean, the fact is, I'm not very good at remembering character names for movies. I remember Sam because Sam was incredible. Sam was you just fall in love with Sam. Neville and Sam are just a great team. And I thought it was a brilliant addition to that story to actually give us someone that Neville was talking to the whole time.
Yeah, no. I just hope that we know how Sidney Pollack died when we say they go in threes. I hope Sam the dog isn't the next one to go.
Don't even say that, dude. They won't even report
because a dog is like so much older in dog years. And so anyway, I had a good time tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing me the video. Apparently, I have been living in a cave or something.
You are living in a cave. You have not seen your pork and beans.
I've been not sleeping and drinking beer.
Because I eat my candy with the pork and beans.
Is that the words? I was too busy watching the video to know the words.
Yeah, well, you'll watch it a couple billion more times because there's so many just little Easter eggs in there. And it's so great because the funny thing is when I watched it, when someone showed it to me, I was like, who the hell is that guy singing the song? And they're like, you haven't seen Chocolate Rain? And it's like, it's that thing that you're going to ask. There's going to be one or two things that you missed.
See,
you're like,
you already ruining the video. See,
no, I'm not. I just mentioned Chocolate Rain guy.
See, that's enough. If you had told me that would have spoiled the surprise for me. Because do you know how I looked when that guy came? I was like, oh, it's him. So let's not say any more about it. Go watch the video. Hey, I'm glad you're feeling better, man.
Likewise, man. I'm glad
Thanks for coming by.
In full effect.
I'm
Rex in effect.
No.
Okay. Come, baby, baby, come.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's
rum
enough.
Shaker.
It's called the Rum Shaker. Scrumple up a dump bum whatever.
Oh, God, you're going to make me sing that song, too.
No,
All right, let's get the fuck out of here now. Bail out. Eject.
All I want to do is zoom in your
boom, boom. Just shake your rump.
Shake your All right.
Oh, you made me do it.
Keep
You
in
made
mind,
me fucking do it.
both of us have been like sitting up here calling each other gay, and we're going out with like some of the gayest mannerisms ever.
No,
so.
dude, that was manly. I saw Rex in Effect live back in the 90s, dude.
You were dating yourself.
And it was a guy with
With two asses
with
in
a
front of him.
turntable and two dancing girls. It was awesome. All I want to do is zoom, 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 and the boom, boom.
Jesus
Kick your
Christ!
ass.
I could never imagine you at a Rex and Effects concert. But anyway, let's go and get out of here. All right, say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.